It's rightly said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Today we have with us Aravind Krishana, an illustrious alumnus who took his baby steps into the world of science right here at Silver Hills Public School. Aravind belongs to the 2018 Class 10 batch and he graduated from IIT Gandhinagar, going on to become a robotics engineer. Recently, Aravind and his team hit headlines with our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi visiting the Adverb stall at the Mighty Pavilion held as part of the Global AI Impact Summit in New Delhi. So it's welcome back to Aravind Krishnan to Silver Hills Public School, and what a magnificent entry, Aravind, with so many feathers fluttering on your cap of academic credentials.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Hello Aravind, I'm Ardra. So I just wanted to ask you, were you interested in these, functions of the robotic men and stuff from your early childhood?
I wouldn't say I had a great interest in robotics from my early childhood, but the first memory that I have is when my grandfather took me to a computer center, which was I think when I was around 5 or 6 years old. And then at that time I remember I couldn't even reach the computer desk, and then I was sitting on the instructor's lap, and then I can have a faint memory of the blinking cursor. So that I would say was the first encounter for me with the world of maybe computers and science in general. So after that, throughout my childhood, I used to dismantle different kind of small let's say a remote control car and different things that were available around the house. I would dismantle them, assemble them again, and then so that kind of used help develop my curiosity towards that. So during my childhood, I was very interested in computer science in general, and then I used to work in my dad's office also as not a part time, but I used to help him out with different things in his office.
Our school's a habitual winner in all the cultural fests that are held, and I'm myself a very proud participant in such cultural fests. And did you participate in something like this? And did it help you in your future endeavors?
Yes, definitely. So apart from the academic exposure that I got at Silver Hills, I would say the next biggest thing for me was the access to the different cultural venues and the programs that we could attend and conduct and even participate. So I was part of the the school band for a very long time. Since I joined in since I joined in my 8th class till I graduated, I was a big part of the cultural the band, Western band. We used to go for numerous competitions. We used to have daily practice sessions. We used to we used to even compose songs and all. So all that I believe has definitely helped me in my future. So even after I left SHPS Silver Hills, then as I moved to my university, I was a big part of the cultural council. I was a cultural coordinator there, and then I also used to participate in different band competitions. We have won around 4 to 5 national competitions, Western band competitions. So I definitely believe that would my exposure at SHPS has definitely added on to my experience in my college and all. So yeah, it has definitely helped me.
Hello Aravind, I'm Devika, a 10th grader out here in Silver Hills, and you're indeed a true source of inspiration for all of us out here. So I was wondering, how did Silver Hills help to shape the robotic expert in you?
Yeah, I believe that for robotics, understanding the fundamentals of let's say science is very important. For example, the different topics that you learn in physics, starting from the basic laws of kinematics to the circuits and everything in electrical. That is very important, and which has definitely helped me to understand the concepts which I learned in robotics or mechanical or anything later on in my life. And definitely the coding and the computer science knowledge that I gained here. We used to have regular classes in computer science, which again gave me a basic fundamental understanding of different topics in CS, which later on definitely helped me in understanding the other advanced concepts which I learned in my college, or right now even I'm learning a lot of things right now. So whatever I'm learning right now is also based on, definitely it has a base which I gained in SHPS.
Great answer. Well, indeed, our school follows one of the best practices, let it be speaking in English or the morning assemblies. And I was just wondering, how did that have an impact in your life?
Back when I was in SHPs, we used to have like a lot of fines for everything, like for not speaking in English, for not wearing your belt, for not bringing your ID card. So back then, me and my friends, we used to think like, what do the administration get from like taking fines from us? But later on, I believe that like all those small things helped shape the discipline and the internal motivation in me to do the different things. For example, like in our college, we didn't have attendance, and then we had to wake up at like 6 or 7 in the morning and go to class every day. So believe to develop that internal motivation and then the discipline to do the same thing every day again and again, that definitely came from the exposure that I got at SHPS. And in terms of like speaking in English, I would say it was mandatory for us to speak in English, and then I myself used to get lots of fines for not doing that. And then, but later on when I went to my university, while it helped me a lot. So while we had a lot of seminars, we had a lot of presentations, we had meetings with professors or any delegates or anyone coming from outside. So in such cases, like it helped us a lot, like for in developing the communication skills and all. And very recently, when I was at the AI Summit itself, like we had, I personally got the chance to meet a lot of foreign delegates, the CTOs, CHOs, and so on and so forth. So to even talk to them, like like it was my manager who suggested my name to directly interact with them. So that I believe definitely my communication skills has helped me, and then converse with them, and then that definitely I believe like has a base which I developed at Silver Hills.
Hello, my name is Advait. Can we use basic components to create something similar to Tracker?
Yeah, definitely. So there are a lot of open source methods and documentation which you can follow to develop like a quadruped, an open source quadruped. But main thing I believe is like the cost that is required to make the robot dog or the quadruped itself, similar to what we have made. So, but you can definitely start with something using like just servo motors, and then like Arduinos and Raspberry Pis and all, and then you can work with different like ML models, like which are again open source. So you should also try to work with something vision based. You can have like a camera or even a webcam would work, a 1080p camera which can be used for different vision based tasks. So yeah, definitely you'll require different components. It has I don't know exact number, but then wide variety of components. You'll have to source them differently, but then you'll definitely get like an open source documentation which you can follow. Father also mentioned that recently at Silver Hills they have introduced IT as like an extra subject for 9th and 10th grade. I believe it's a really good initiative because fundamentals of CS is very important for any professional course that you take up. Let's say, I mean, if it's BTech, which I did, any branch that you go into, fundamentals of CS is very important. So that I believe is a really good initiative.
Okay.
Hello everyone, I am Aishwarya. I just wanted to know about your recent project Tracker and how it contributes to the human world, and will the blind people benefit from it?
So Tracker is an industrial surveillance and robot dog, which is primarily developed for that. We have developed the platform. So there are a lot of areas in a factory where it is very hazardous for the humans to go to do different safety checks. Let's say for one of our clients, what we did was they wanted to detect gas leakages around their entire warehouse. So in such cases, like it's very hazardous, and then it's actually like repetitive. It's a very repetitive task. It's a very tiresome task for the humans to manually go check out all the pipelines and detect gas leakages. So what we did was we attached like a gas leakage sensor onto the quadruped, and multiple of them, they were working in coordination and moving around the entire warehouse and detecting gas leakages. So that I believe was one of the use cases. So we have right now developed the framework, but then it can be extended on to any future use cases. Like apart from the 5 kg payload one which I just talked about, we have a 20 kg payload quadruped as well. So we have been closely working with different government organizations as well. So one of the use cases which we haven't deployed yet, but then which we are thinking of is again like in the future, quadrupeds can be used for bomb diffusion and and working in situations like let's say landslides and all to detect safety and rescue operations as well. So those are the things which I would definitely help humanity directly. But in terms of blind people, we aren't directly working with them. I mean, we don't have a project as of right now. But then there has been like projects around the world where people have been work using the quadruped as like a guide dog for blind people. So definitely it can be integrated with their existing tech. Like let's say they might have any kind of smart glasses or something, which would like I recently read about the smart glasses which would enable the blind people to read. Just looking at something, the smart glasses would actually tell them, okay, this is the object, this is the the name of the object, where is it placed, and location and all. So definitely the quadruped can be integrated with that technology, and then it can be helpful for them as well.
Well, here goes our final question. What is your key advice to the present Silverites?
So I believe that like Silver Hills, even the teachers, the management, and everyone, they work towards creating like an environment where you can learn and grow a lot. There are numerous avenues which are available. I mean, it was available during my time, and I definitely believe, like as Father mentioned, there are still a lot of avenues available. So I would say make use of each and every opportunity that you get. And then it's not a regret, but then I wish I had much more time to spend here so that like I could make use of all of that. But then yeah, make use of all the opportunity that you get, and apart from academics, like focus on some personal development, like communication development, or and developing hobbies, developing like any artistic skills. So all that will definitely help you in the future, especially when you enter a professional course, or even enter like profession. So people actually look out for that more than your academic experience in general.
It was indeed great having you right here. And for all of us, you're indeed a source of inspiration, because even knowing that you're one among us, one Silverite, and indeed hope you meet up our country's expectations.
Thank you so much for having me here.